Good morning, adventurers.
Good morning.
Was I supposed to come up like that?
I don't know. Whatever. It's all
Good
fine.
morning, adventurers.
I'll go out.
Where you go?
And then come back in. Good morning, adventurers.
We have the garage door open today because it's like 68 degrees.
My
It's
body
so much
doesn't even
nicer.
know what to do.
As we mentioned, it is time to install our flooring. Never thought we'd actually get to this point, but we're here. I'm sure you guys didn't think we'd get there either.
And maybe we'll give up and we'll just have no floors.
Yeah, maybe this will be the last thing we actually attempt. There were a lot of things to consider when deciding on the right floor to use in the RV. Obviously, weight is probably the biggest thing, so we can't use real hardwood planks or anything like that. So we opted for vinyl. However, it's still actually pretty heavy. But I think that's okay because, I don't know if you guys remember, we actually had 2 whole layers of carpet that we pulled up in the RV. So there's some weight right there that we can replace. Also, I don't know if we really mentioned it in our last video, but our ceiling planks are very, very light. They're much lighter than the paneling that was on there previously, probably like half the weight or so.
Right.
So we're trying to make things lighter in some areas so that we can make them a little bit heavier in other areas. It'll be an experiment. It'll be entertaining for you guys, that's for sure. I just realized my hair looks awful, so I'm covering this up. All right, there we go. That's more like it. We also found a floor that is meant for uneven subfloors, which, as you guys know, we had to do some major reconstruction on the floor.
Yeah.
So it's kind of even, but it's not perfect. So we feel like this is the right type of flooring for the job.
Yeah, specifically the rigid construction, we were told, works especially well. It's supposed to be really good for uneven subfloor. So we're gonna try to make ours as even as possible, or at least as gradually uneven as possible instead of being like really erratic.
Yeah, we've already done some testing in there, and I think it's gonna work fine. I don't think you're gonna notice any of the unevenness.
No,
or maybe I'll be eating my words later. Typically, you'd have to lay down an underlayment underneath the floor, but this vinyl flooring actually has the underlayment attached to it, so it gives it this soft pad that it sits on. It is also waterproof, but this will be an experiment for us, hopefully entertaining for you guys to watch. If it doesn't work out, we can just replace the floor later, and it's not really all that hard.
Oh
so
yeah, it's
we're
super
gonna take
easy.
a chance.
There's no nailing, no gluing, so just rip it up if you don't like it.
But first, we have to do some measurements in there, and we have to clean up the subfloor and actually get it ready for the vinyl planks to go on top of it. So we'll see you inside. You guys, we're having problems, as usual.
We thought doing math for the ceiling planks was hard. Oh baby, flooring is much harder. These planks are 4 1/4 inch wide, and you can't have a starting or end piece less than 2 inches. You also need 1/4 inch of space on each wall that you're going to for expansion. So now we're trying to figure out how best to start these planks so that we don't start with a piece smaller than 2 inches, end with a piece smaller than 2 inches. What's really tricky is that we have all these built out areas that are making our measurements all wonky.
Yeah.
So
it's like you have to make it work there, but then whatever you do there, we want this to all be seamless, so then it has to work here
in
and
the
here.
kitchen, and then it has
over
to work
here
in
to
the
the door.
doorway, and then it has to work against here. So we're trying
Hopefully
to
that'll
figure
make
out,
sense, but basically it's just like the ceiling, but worse.
It's just a lot more math.
And math is not our strong suit.
Oh my god, y'all.
Yeah.
Fractions, they get me every time.
I learned them once in like 6th grade.
I know, why didn't we do the RV back in grade school when we actually knew all this stuff?
So we're gonna keep puzzling for a little while. We might spend this entire day puzzling, you guys, but we'll report back in a bit.
I'm hopeful we'll get maybe a row laid, and then we'll immediately take it up because we realized we made horrible mistakes.
We decided to lay out all the planks on the side of the RV so we can actually work on the pattern and make sure they're all random, because some of the patterns on these planks actually repeat. Some of them have this big grain pattern, which we're not a huge fan of. Some of them are more subtle. So we're just trying to organize them in the best possible way. Now we're ready to make our first cut. With vinyl planks, it's really easy. You can just do it with a utility knife. You just square it up with a ruler, and then it should be as easy as this. The key is to try not to cut your thumb off.
Yeah, or stab your leg. Oh gosh.
Oh, there you go.
Nice, it went really well.
Pretty clean cut. No sawing required.
Woo! Well, we didn't get as far as we wanted, but we got started today at least.
Yes.
And that is something to be proud of. We put some planks down. I know we didn't get that much action. It was a lot of math and planning.
But we're in a
my
very
God.
good spot for installing the rest of them tomorrow. So you guys know that we've been putting in some very hard hours on this RV renovation. And one unfortunate side effect is that we have not been able to prepare meals for ourselves. And to be honest, we've just been eating like trash.
Yeah, but that all ends today, thanks to HelloFresh.
That's right. And we just wanted to give them a huge thank you for sponsoring today's video and for supporting our channel.
HelloFresh delivers delicious seasonal recipes in a box right to your door. They give you all the ingredients you need, perfectly portioned and ready to be crafted into a culinary masterpiece.
And we actually have a box waiting for us right now. So we're gonna go eat it.
Let's eat!
Holy cow, you guys. Look what we made.
It's so pretty!
We did such a good job. It looks just like the picture.
Nailed it.
One thing that I love is that they have a ton of different meals, so you never have to feel like you're eating the same thing over and over and over.
Plus, it is super customizable. Want more chicken? No problem. Not a huge fan of meat? Keep it vegetarian.
You can get any kind of meal that you want. Low calorie, you can get pescatarian, you can get carb smart.
HelloFresh has hooked us up with a special deal just for you.
You can just go to HelloFresh.com and use the code EndlessAdventure10 to get 10 free meals, including free shipping. They're gonna give you 10 meals, you guys. It's a good deal. It's a good meal deal.
Oh. Okay, but our food is getting cold. I'm so
eating
hungry
now.
and so excited. Ooh-wee.
The potatoes are good, you guys. Holy
They
cow.
said the nutmeg makes them. Oh, it totally does.
All right, we're gonna eat this. See you guys later.
Was I supposed to leave?
I don't know. It just felt right in the moment.
I'm sitting right here.
We're on our way back to the garage. Get ourselves some coffee. We're just chilling in a parking lot, watching an old bank be destroyed by a huge bulldozer. It's kind of weird because this bank's been around since I moved here as a kid. Now they're destroying it.
Yeah, seeing this get destroyed before we go and undestroy our RV. It's come a full circle.
We're back. We're ready to start working on the floor again. If Allison can manage to come up with the pattern that she wants.
Yo, this is so hard. They have repeating patterns in the boxes, and there aren't too many, which is nice, but some of them are really ugly. Some you really just don't want two similar boards right next to each other. So not only am I trying to do the math of how long the RV and how wide it is and what we're going around, but I'm also trying to make sure the layout looks nice. It's hurting my noodle. Full disclosure, I just cut one of these in half and I held it like this to break it and it smashed me in the nose. I don't know if it's still red. It was all red and I had a little bit of a cut.
I'm sad I missed that one.
I'm not, because it was really embarrassing. But now I know you stand over the piece you break and you let your back take the brunt of it. Or you just cut it better.
Update time, you guys. We are making progress. Check this out.
Like halfway, I think.
Yeah. So I figured this is a good time to give you guys a little walkthrough of what we're doing now that we've kind of figured out how to actually do it. We're basically just following the instructions on the box. Keep in mind, however, this is not a how-to video. So first off, we have these little plastic pieces. They're just these, but they're spacers. So you put this all around the edge of the room and they give you about 1/4 inch so that the panels don't go all the way to the wall. That gives them room to kind of breathe and flex. First things first, we give the planks a nice little brushy-wushy. We want to make sure that we have as little debris and stuff beneath these planks as possible.
Did you just say brushy-wushy?
Yeah, that's right. Do you never say that? This is basically a tongue and groove system. So this sits right inside that little groove. You line it up right there. It falls right into place. And then you just mallet it to lock it in. And there you have it. Perfect seam. We were worried there was gonna be little bubbles and inconsistencies in the floor, but there really is not. You can't notice it at all.
No.
While you're walking on it. It's incredibly solid.
It's so cool and it looks so nice.
Yeah. I think this is gonna work out, you guys.
I know.
All right, but we're kind of just stalling a little bit because we have to get around all this stuff now.
Yeah,
So this
so-
is the hard part.
I shouldn't have said we're halfway. We're probably like 30% because we got to do a lot of cutting around all of this stuff.
Yeah. Back to a montage, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's get it done.
Oh my goodness, you guys. We cut The final piece.
This is it.
Oh,
And it was probably the most complicated.
it was.
It wasn't that complicated, but yeah, you know.
All right, let's put this baby in.
And just like that, we are done!
Ah!
Ha-ha! We actually completely finished the floor.
I can't
Yeah.
even believe it.
And it looks great, you guys. I'm very happy with the choice we made on these vinyl planks. And when you walk around, the floor doesn't really visually flex. You don't feel it flexing. It doesn't make any noises.
No, we've been walking all over it and like being like, okay, what about here? What about here? But I think we did so much prep work for this and we tried to even out all the gaps and cracks that it's so super solid.
Yeah. And I don't know if we messed up a single cut.
You know, we did not once or twice when I was scoring it, I got off a little bit and made a nick, but it's all covered by the trim.
So it's all good, man.
technically, it's all perfect.
Yeah. We'll have to do an update down the road after we've traveled in the RV for a while and let you guys know how we're feeling about the floor. Obviously, aesthetically, we're very happy with it, but you know, it's a floating floor, so that means as you're driving, it could shift a little bit. You have to leave these gaps here, and we're not sure if the whole floor is going to slowly kind of shift around or if that'll even be a problem.
Yeah.
From what we've read on other people's blogs where they've done these installs, they haven't really had any problems, so.
I think it should stay pretty put.
But man, it's wild seeing a floor and a ceiling in here. It's starting
my
to feel
God.
real.
I wish we could put the rest of the planks in, but sadly they're still
I'm trying not
in
to show you guys
process.
this because I'm annoyed that we don't have the planks
I
yet to do that.
know,
But we'll
God.
get to it. So I know we ended up going dark on the ceiling and then dark on the floor, but I think it's really going to work well with everything else being white.
Yes. And we have some rugs in mind, some area rugs and
Yeah,
stuff.
so there'll be
that'll
a brighter
bright.
color. Just trust us, guys. It'll be a
gonna
nice
be
final
good.
product, we promise. Or not, and I don't know what to tell you then. Cheers.
Cheers!
Ah, whoa, that was a big ding.
I know, it was a big-
Satisfying.
To a job done. We
Yes.
finally finished something.
Also, you might notice that we're outside right now. And I'm in a t-shirt.
I'm not freezing. If we were ambitious enough, we would get our bonfire going down in the yard.
We're not that
But
ambitious,
no,
you
it
guys.
is late now.
But yeah, so road trip will be coming up tomorrow. So we've got all kinds of really fun stuff planned, you guys. We're going to be out and about.
Getting into nature, getting into some really cool Airbnbs, eating a lot of food, all the amazing, delicious things.
Classic.
Don't worry, RV videos will be right back. But
And it's going to be some big changes coming on the RV because
yeah.
we're getting close to
Yeah.
that point where we might actually be driving it somewhere.
oh my God! All right, goodbye, adventures.
We'll see you on the road.
For
real.
real.
For real. For real this time. How'd you know I was going to say that?
Cause yeah.
Whatever. It's
Well,
over.
maybe.